All right, welcome back to Bodyworks Gym TV. Today we're going to do a chest workout. We're going to go through a variation of some different exercises. Show you some. Basically today, I think I'm going to concentrate mostly on upper chest, which would be a lot of incline stuff. Which basically, once you get your chest kind of pretty much developed up, then a lot more. You get a lot more out of just trying to work a lot more upper chest. Like I say, build up that thickness up here. So we're going to work on that today. I'm going to get going and get warmed up, and we're going to get to it. All right, first exercise we're going to do today will be incline. We're going to do some incline dumbbells. Basically, it's the exact same exercise as you would be doing with the barbell incline, but like I said, it's just a little more variety of changing of your angle. If you got like some elbow problems or shoulder problems, the dumbbell press alleviates that because you can change the angle of how you bring and rotate your dumbbells in. So basically, you're going to get a normal bench that's flat, and then you're going to adjust it to the height that you want. Now obviously you're going to bring this up just to keep you so you're not going to be falling off the seat. And then here, you're going to adjust accordingly. Now this is a steep inner incline here, which is close to about a 45, which once a blue moon I'll do this, but not too often. This, again, the higher you come up here, the more it's going to take off your upper chest and put a little bit more into your front heads, your shoulders. So you kind of want to stay away from that. Like I say, you can, even this high here, that's way too high. But again, sometimes you'll see people doing that, which is way too high for an incline. So I usually come down to about 30, 35, right around there, and that's where I'll normally do all my sets. That way it concentrates mostly on upper chest, and then you don't have to worry about as far as your shoulders aren't going to take over the exercise for you. So we're going to do a couple sets here, a couple more sets here to warm up, and then we'll get to it. Okay, now the rep ratio we're going to start out with. We usually do 4 sets between 8 to 12 reps. Meaning, like I say again, as usual, your eight's basically you're going to drop down. Your heaviest load is going to be around 8. If you can't get 8, you fluctuate between 6, 8. Hey, that's fine. Obviously, we want our last 2 reps to be extremely hard. I mean, that's what you want. Your last 2 reps to be, basically to natural fatigue. So, like I said, I'm going to grab a weight, do my set, get warmed up a little bit more. Now, the main thing on these here, like I say, is just get them up. You want to get them up, you can throw them with your legs. Once you get extremely heavy, like I say, if you get too heavy where you can't do this, then you can have somebody hand you the dumbbells too. That's another way of doing it. But basically, you're just going to throw them up and then just push them up. Now, the main thing about these here, like I say, is the dumbbells need to stay above your eyes here. You don't want them down. You don't want them floating in front of your chest. You want them back. And then you're just going to bring them down. Same way, all the way straight up. Like I said, the main thing is to keep the weights going. You don't have to lock out all the way at the top. And as you're going up, you want to make sure you're letting the air out, keeping your airflow going. You don't want to hold your breath. We're gradually increasing the weight. Like I say, I'm going to go up increments, usually 10 pounds, until I get to where I feel comfortable. At the same time, I'm warming up. I'm going to get to my heaviest max weight where I'm going to mess with probably do at least 2 heavy sets of 8, and then finish off the drop set. Like I say, the most important thing here at this stage right now is handle as heavy weight as I can with intensity and overload. And then after that, we'll do a little burnout set, do some pump set, and then we'll go on to another exercise after that. At the same time, I'm just kind of getting myself warmed up, getting as much blood as I can in there at the same time as I go up in increments. I mean, you can jump up 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever you feel comfortable. At this stage, with my age and injuries and stuff like that, I take my time and just gradually work up. I might do an extra 5 or 6 sets more than the average person, but that way I'm truly, and I know that I'm good and warmed up. I get a good sweat going to handle the heavy weight. So, and then we'll go from there. Usually, this heavier stuff here, we're talking probably 2 minutes, 3-minute rest in between a set, and then once we get to the isolation exercises instead of the compound exercises, then we'll jump everything up, speed up to like 90 seconds rest in between a set. All right, now we're going to lead up to the heavier sets. The guy who's coming, my training partner, who's going to help me out today, he's not showed up, so obviously I'm not going to jump up a little bit heavier because it's a little bit easier to get a lift up when you do this stuff. You could also get a lift up by just throwing the stuff up, counting to 3 and having them help you by grabbing your elbows and pushing the weight up. It just makes it easier on that first rep. So I'm going to go through here. We've got 2 more sets. We'll get them done here. I say normally when you're working with somebody else, you're doing your set, they do your set, and then basically just keep following after each other. That way you keep a good rhythm of the workout going and you keep a good pump going at the same time. Main thing is, like I say, get yourself rested enough that you can handle the heaviest weight possible on this set. This is, like I say, right here we're looking for heavier weight, poundage as far as driving the muscle and intensity on the muscle on these exercises here. So this is why we do this first. I mean, obviously you could do other exercises first so they can take off. Like then you wouldn't have to go as heavy sometimes. You know, you can do your flies first, pre-exhaust. That's called pre-exhaust. You can pre-exhaust your muscles first and then go to your heavy sets, and then you won't have to go as heavy. So we got 1 more set here. I'm gonna take a break and then we'll get to it. All right, that's my last heavy set. Now I'm going to do a drop. So all I usually do is give myself 10, 20 seconds in between and go down, drop down to a lighter dumbbell. Don't do it all the time. But sometimes at the end of a workout like today, normally if I have somebody spot me, I'll do an extra 2 or 3 reps, force reps. This way here, it's like doing force reps at the end of your set when you don't have anybody to give you a spot. So basically I'm just going to grab lighter weight and just reps out, so I can't do no more, and that's it for this exercise. Now if you want to finish even more, you could drop down, do another set, which I'm not going to do today, and keep going, a couple more sets, just drop sets, just to pump more blood into that area. Now again, what we're working on here is upper chest. This is trying to basically build all that thickness up here on the upper chest. And like I said, obviously you're getting a little bit of other chest, but at the same rate as with this level here, we're trying to keep the pressure off the front shoulder too. So now we're going to move on to the next exercise. All right, next exercise we're going to follow up with an incline fly, which works again the more upper chest. I like to do my flies in between a heavy compound exercise. This is more of, like I say again, this is like an isolation exercise. So what we'll do is, say you're going to do your heavy, if you did heavy barbell, whatever you did heavy, you do your flat flies, your incline flies in between, and that gives your muscles, I feel anyway, a little bit rest. So later on, if I want to go do heavy bench or heavy incline or something else, that gives me a little bit of rest in between, so I can go keep everything really as heavy as possible. So like I said, right now we're going to do isolation exercise here. Do 4 sets of these. Again, between 8 to 12 reps. You don't really want to go under 8 reps on these here. There's no need to. The most important thing about these here is the stretch. Obviously, you don't want to overstretch these. You can tear a pec muscle, but you want to make sure you get the stretch, and then you want to make sure that your form is right. You don't want to turn this into a press, which a lot of people do. So anytime you're doing a flat fly or an incline fly or any type of fly, you want to make sure that when you're bringing the dumbbells up, you'll see is you keep your elbows bent, and it's like hugging a big tree. That's the easiest way I can tell you. When you bring the weights up, circle them. Imagine yourself hugging a big tree, and that way you'll never ever press them. Because a lot of people end up pressing them when you get heavy. They'll come here and you end up pressing them. So basically, what you're going to do is we're going to start above our eye level here. We're coming down, getting that stretch, and then hugging a big tree. You can churn them if you like. I'm not a big churner. I don't like banging my weights together neither. Some people do that, whatever. It's up to you. But some people, once in a blue moon, I'll do that, not too often. Just get yourself, the main thing is nice, good stretch down, stretch them out, and get that big circular motion. And this exercise here, this is an exercise here, you're going to wait 90 seconds. 90 seconds and you should be ready to rock and roll. You don't want to wait any longer than that. So you can even do 60 seconds if you want. It's whatever's up to, Once you feel you're ready to go, you're going. We're not doing extremely heavy. You can go up, I can go up to 60s, 70s and do them. But today I'm just going to just go up to 55s and I'll see how I feel. But the main thing, like I say, is form. You don't want to, basically, again, this is an exercise that if you get a little too crazy with it, obviously you can pull pec muscle or even extreme, go to the extreme and tear something. So You want to keep everything under control and keep everything in the range that motion-wise where it doesn't do any damage too. Again, like I said, the most important thing is keeping the dumbbells up above your eye level, okay, above my forehead. You don't want them up here, okay. That's not where this is at. It's back here. This way, you want to make sure you widen out your shoulder blades so you can get good stretch down and then up. All right, for the third exercise, we're going to do the hammer strength here incline press. Now this here is actually a very good machine for upper chest. Again, today I'm going to double up on some upper, do a lot of upper stuff. We'll adjust the seat here. Now if you don't want to mess with, like I say, dumbbells or the barbells, you can come in here and use this here. And there's also an actual front press that works just like a bench press hammer strength machine too, which again, that's another real good machine that you don't even have to, like I say, this way here, if you're a newbie or something and you want to do this kind of stuff here and not mess with the bars and stuff like that, you can get a good work in here. Now the main thing about this exercise is getting it adjusted for your height. You want these arms right here, right about the top of your shoulders here. You don't want to be sitting up here and you don't want to be way down. So basically where these are here is as we're pushing this up. Okay, your grip wise, that's up to you. I like a little bit more wider because it's going to stretch out the pectoral muscles at the same time here. And basically all you're going to do is take it off the thing and press it straight up. Make sure you get yourself, like I say, good back, your back on there, good control that, and then nice and easy. And then as you go, you just add weight. Usually I'll do 3 or 4 sets. Again, I'm good and warmed up now. Like I say, I really didn't even do that. Need to do that set, but so basically just going to throw some weight on there and do a couple sets of 3 sets, 4 sets of 8 reps. Okay, this is another exercise here. Like for today, definitely I would be waiting probably 2 minutes, 3 minutes in between a set, because again, I'm trying to do more of an overload type thing. So I'm trying to get as many heavy reps as I can, instead of just trying to fatigue the muscle and running through reps. So again, I can't stress more, just make sure you have this here adjusted right so that you get the proper extension out of the bars and the feel for the upper chest. You can go thumbless or whatever you want to do. I like thumbless on this here. Actually, sometimes I don't even grip the bar, which again, it's a preference thing. We'll do 3 more sets of that, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. All right, this last set we're going to do one here. Do as many as I can. I'm going to drop a plate, do as many as I can, and then drop a plate and do as many as I can. That way, again, we're just getting a quick burnout. Obviously, you're not worried about how many reps you can do, especially after you do your first set. You're going to try and get 6 to 8 reps on the first one, and then go right into the second one. You want to rest between like 10 to 20 seconds between the drop set, and then go. All right, that's a good way to, especially if you're training by yourself, you can get some drop sets, and that way you're going as heavy as you can in the first run of the exercise, and then you're doing a drop set, so you're continuously putting intensity into the whole workout, and then you're finishing off with a little bit more extra reps, and that way you're pumping more blood into that area. So basically, that's what we're going to do for the third exercise, and then we're going to go on to something else. All right, next exercise we're going to do a superset for the final ending of the workout. We're going to do this machine here, which is a nice hoist seated dip machine that you can adjust. Like you can go in or outer. Inners for triceps. If you bring it this way, you can concentrate more on your tricep head. Bringing them out here, you get a little bit more wider of a torque on you can keep your elbows out. So obviously this is what we're using it for, is for the chest. You're going to adjust your seat however you want. It goes up and down for your height. Like say you set your weight stack. I'm going to do 3 sets here rep. I'm going to do 3 sets on this here. I'm going to do 1 set, and then I'm going to go over to the it's like a cable. It's like a fly. It's like a seated fly, but also like a cable crossover type thing, which is pretty good, nice hoist machine that's isolated. The hoist machines are real nice machines. So basically, you're just going to get in here. Like I said, I'm already warmed up, so I'm just going to jump right in. Get my reps here. Reps here are just basically how you feel, because you can only go so heavy. So you're, most of the time it's definitely going to be more than 8. So you probably right around 12, somewhere in that area there. As I'm doing these, you'll see my elbows. I'm keeping my elbows out, so basically, and I'm kind of leaning forward. That's going to stretch your pectoral muscles. Now, if I was doing triceps, obviously these would be in, and I'd be keeping my arms going this way. Okay, so basically you're doing more triceps. But here we want to wing these arms. I want my elbows out, and I want to kind of lean forward, so I really stretch, stretch, tear these muscle fibers here. You want to stretch out your facial muscles. Fibers, so basically we get more blood into them, and that's another reason why we stretch in between sets. So okay, basically again, grip wise, I stay up here, and like I say, make sure your elbows are out here. You want your elbows out. We don't want them in, we want them out. Like I said, we're going to do 3 sets of these. Like I say, then we're going to jump over here, go to this next exercise. Ready? This is the hoist pec fly here, which I'm going to superset with the seated dip machine. Again, you can adjust this seat wide however you want it. It's on 3 here. I'm going to take it up to about 4. Again, it works a variety of your chest muscles all the way around. It's almost like it's like a fly, but you can also almost like a pack deck type thing too. So basically, again, you're going to just start here, and you're just going to bring those things together. Elbows are out. You want to make sure you get a real good stretch out. Again, with this exercise here, I'm not really going to count too many reps. It's just doing it, so I can't do no more after I do the dip, dip press. We'll do 3 sets of those, and then that'll be it. All right, that's it for the chest workout today. Obviously, sometimes it matters how my routine's going. Today, I'm going to probably just do a couple sets of biceps. After my chest workout, sometimes I like to do a couple sets of arms, and then later in the week, I'll do tris and biceps together. But it's just something kind of a pump thing. I'll just do 2 exercises just to get some pump in there, take them to natural fatigue. And then I'll probably rip off 4 or 5 sets of calves, and then call it a day. Now make sure, like I said, I've told you, we talked about before, is most important thing of any time after your workout is getting in, you know, at least I would say 40-50 grams of protein. Again, it matters if you're a female, probably like 20-25 max, and then make sure you get in, you know, between 60-75 grams of simple carbs in your system right after your workout. That's the best way. You know, you can use some isolated protein, iso protein. That way it gets into your system real quick. Get that digested, and then when you get home, you know, within an hour and a half, then you can eat your meal. I mean, I can't stress enough on any of this stuff here and any of your training here. You're wasting your time if you're only putting the calories and feeding your body. You've got to stress your body with food. You've got to feed the beast, basically. You know, everybody, I can't imagine how many people, oh, I'm not gaining weight. If you're not gaining weight, you're not eating enough calories. It's as simple as that. If you have a fast metabolism, if you're an active person, that's a double whammy. So that means you have to consume more calories. There's no reason that you should not be gaining size and weight and you're eating properly. There's no excuse, seriously. I mean, especially if you're a young kid, if you're not gaining weight, you've got to eat more food. You've got to eat more high-calorie foods. That's all I can stress. All right, I hope this helped workout. You enjoyed this workout. Have a good day.